feel like my life has changed a lot in the last year. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. I feel like I am not the only one who is going to be feeling the things that I am feeling, especially those of you who maybe have become parents in the last couple of years. But I just haven't heard that many people talking about this, and so I wanted to talk about it. Back in November, I completely wiped myself off of social media. I deleted my Instagram, I deleted my Facebook, I deleted my Twitter. It was all gone. And I did it for a lot of reasons that I will get into. One, because it was just such a time suck, and I didn't like what it was doing to my brain, and it frustrated me, and I didn't enjoy it. It just was stressful. It made me feel worse. Two, because I'm a new dad, and I don't want, it would be weird. I was just thinking, like, if I was a kid and my parents were like so plugged into social media, I think that would be weird to me. I don't think I would like that. And for a long time, I had to be really plugged into it because of all of this. Or at least I felt like I needed to be. And three, I did it because I don't know the best way to say this exactly. So we just finished a year where everybody was told you got to stay home. You can't go out, you can't see people, you can't do anything. You just got to be locked in your home miserable. And that left people very little options for staying connected and in community with their people. And it was like you were being forced to have to use these gross, nasty corporations. Like that was the only way you were allowed to stay in touch with people. And I just hated that. That didn't feel right. That just really rubbed me the wrong way. The independent part of me that doesn't like being told what to do, that was very frustrating feeling. To feel like you're being told, well, no, you can talk to each other just in our house. And I don't trust these companies. I don't trust what they do with your data. I think that a lot of them don't have good intentions. And I don't say that to say that I think everybody needs to delete social media, because there was a time when I loved social media. When I was younger and you had Zanga and MySpace, you had these like blogging platforms and connect with your friends online. That was really cool. Like that was fun. It's like nothing can stay fun. At some point, it all just gets ruined. And I think that's where we are living now. And the last year just really put a fine point on just how like gross it is now. Like I've gotten so many messages from people since I deleted my social media telling me that they've done the same. And I think that's really cool. I'm not saying that I think social media is the devil and you shouldn't use it, because I have plenty of friends and family who know how to use it the right way and aren't obsessed with it and don't let it stress them out. I'm not that person. I'm a very, like, when I'm into something, I'm into it. And then when I'm out of it, I'm done. I don't want to think about it anymore. So to me, I should have known that one day this would be what my relationship with social media was. It would be just like this divorce where just one day, done. But I do think that it is a net positive, most likely for society, that there is now hopefully going to be somewhat of an exodus from these big corporations that have become so entrenched in our society, where, you know, they can make a small adjustment to an algorithm and it can adjust like the mental well-being of millions of people in like a day. I think that the main thing that people will discuss in the future about right now is just the way people communicate. I really think that and just the way that it's all so segmented now, where you can't even like just have normal conversations anymore, it feels like. Like everything is so just like intense and crazy. And I don't know that people have gotten meaner. I think that you have just given humanity the right tools to behave this way. So make of that what you will. I do think that as we hopefully make somewhat of an exodus and create a more healthy relationship with internet communication, that's my hope. Maybe that's a naive hope, but that is my hope. I hope that we will see somewhat of an ability for people to communicate with each other again in a friendly, congenial way. Like, we live in a time where when you get online, you are either seeing a bubble of things you agree with, or you're seeing that plus the craziest side of people who disagree with you. Because that is what's going to drive you to click things. Is just that either the, oh yes, I agree with this, or oh, I can't believe this thing. There's no like nuance to it anymore where you can have a friendly, you know what, I disagree about this, but we're still humans. We still live together on this planet Earth in our communities, and it's important that we get along. That is what I want for my boys as they grow up. I don't want them to live the way society is right now. So in a very strange way, because I think the last year was just terrible for just so many reasons, I have taken a positive from it in that it helped me define my relationship with social media, and that relationship doesn't exist anymore. So now when I hear about, oh, Facebook did this or Twitter did this or blah, 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 it's nice because I just like, well, I'm not in that anymore. I know that if we all just left Facebook or left Twitter, life would go on. In fact, life would be better. So instead of like being stressed out because it's like, oh no, how can they do these things? We rely on Facebook so much. It's like, I don't rely on Facebook at all anymore. They're a company I've walked away from. I think what I'm trying to say is just that when we look back on this time, I want to be able to say, yeah, I wasn't a part of that. We all just kind of assume that social media, the way that it currently operates, that it's here to stay. And I guess my hope is that sort of like how there are things in history you read about and it's like, oh yeah, and then this thing happened and it didn't work. And it stopped, and it was over. It was this weird thing that happened for a decade or two. And you look back and you say, well, that's weird. Why they think that was a good idea? That's kind of what I hope social media is. And I know that internet communication is always going to exist, and thank God it will, because otherwise I would have to go get a real job, obviously. I'm just grateful that I am starting to sense the evolution beginning. Whatever that's going to be, I'm glad that people are starting to sort of have a sense that, I don't have to use these platforms. Maybe, even if you like keep them, you don't have to use them all the time. You can, like when I deleted all my social media, the first thing I noticed was that I was actually talking to my friends more. And I had certain friends even that would text me pictures that they were posting on Instagram just to say, hey, I wanted to make sure you saw this picture. I know you're not on Instagram anymore. That meant a lot to me. So yeah, it's not as convenient as being able to scroll through and just see all the pictures of all my friends or whatever. But like at the end of the day, like what is more special? Like me sitting on the toilet, scrolling through pictures, tapping a couple of them, or getting a photo like specifically sent to me from a friend who said, hey, I wanted to make sure you saw this picture that I just posted. Like Kelly was talking about deleting her Facebook as well recently, and she was telling me that she was like, well, but if people wanted to invite us to events, that makes it more complicated because now they have to just text us and they can't just... It just makes it more inconvenient for people. And my response is like, well, that's true, but also why should Facebook have a monopoly on people planning things? That's annoying. Maybe it's just that I'm a dad now and I'm, one step closer to being a cranky old grandpa. But that is how I feel. And I feel like how I feel is very optimistic, even in spite of the frustration of the current moment. I do feel very optimistic. I feel like at the end of the day, people will deal with things for only so long until they finally just like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And that's the point I got to last year. I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I think that's about it. I want the world that my kids grow up in to be a lot nicer. I feel like the only reason I'm able to deal with the current world is that I am old enough, just barely, to remember what it was like before this current environment that we are in. If this was all I knew, I don't know how I would deal with that. And I sincerely pray for all of the kids growing up in right now. If you're watching this is not normal. And it will get better, okay? It's gonna be fine. I'm sure your parents are making sure that you're safe and loved and that you're in a good community with people. But yeah, so don't focus on what's going on the internet. Just play with your friends. Life is good. I just want to live in a world where people can talk to each other face to face, one-on-one, even if they disagree. And everything isn't just about like having public online debates and arguing and fighting and all the things that we've talked about on our show over the last like decade, that I feel like has all kind of come to a climax now. And it's just a mess. I think we've reached the peak, and now we're gonna move back down the mountain. And that's how I feel. And yeah, so if you're watching this, I hope it was encouraging. I hope that some part of it resonated with you, and I appreciate your time. Thanks. Now guys, speaking of privacy, when you browse the internet, you do not have much of it. That's why you need to be using a VPN, and the one we recommend is ExpressVPN, who is sponsoring this video today. Don't let these big tech companies mine your data by tracking your searches and messages. Gross. Personally, I really just enjoy having my IP address masked so that just these rando websites can't see what my IP address is. That always really frustrates me. But with ExpressVPN, it just gives you like, it's just some random IP address that is not yours. So they don't know who you are. It's great. Not only that, but you can easily set up ExpressVPN so that it tells the internet you're browsing from a different country. What is the purpose of that? I will tell you. It is, well, I mean, it could be for a lot of reasons, but one of the most fun ones is that you can tell Netflix that you're browsing from a different country. For example, here in the US, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is not streaming on Netflix, but if you switch it to Canada, it is. ExpressVPN has a mobile app so you can be secure when you're on your phone, tablet, and more. And they're the top-rated VPN with the fastest speeds, 24/7 customer support, and of course it's super easy to use. Find out how you can get 3 months free by clicking the link down in the description. expressvpn.com/cow. Again, that's expressvpn.com/cow. I want to say real quick, I know that we've been doing a lot of like random videos lately. Like this is obviously very different than a normal Blimey Cow or Messy Mondays video. Basically, we're a month out from Elliot being born. So we're sort of in that mode right now where we're just trying to keep consistent content going out on our channel while also finding things that are like relatively easy to do and produce, but also things that are still interesting and fun. And we do have some really good stuff we're working on in the next few weeks. There's another episode of Brother Time that's going to release, I think, 3 weeks from now. So I really hope that you'll hang with us. We appreciate you guys so much. So what I think is gonna happen next is that I don't think that people will like gather so much on these big hubs. I think you'll just have smaller communities, and you see that like on a platform like Discord. Like you just have these servers, and this is where all the people meet up, and it's nice. Like I love Discord in its current form. It's fantastic. Hopefully that platform doesn't get ruined one day like Facebook and Twitter and every other social network does eventually. But that's why we launched our own website for people who support our videos. We basically created our own social networks and just say, hey, we've got one where you basically chip in a little bit. You've got your own little social network. You got your own Discord server. You can come hang out with people who enjoy our videos. We're all friendly. We all get along. Don't talk politics. Don't be mean to each other. And you're good. And it's been great. I mean, it's truly been one of the best blessings of my life so far, just seeing how well that has gone. And I think that is why I'm optimistic and hopeful for the future, because a lot of the people on our social media platform have messaged me to say, thank you for creating this. I was able to delete all the other stuff and just have this. If you want to check it out, support BlimeyCow.com. We do all kinds of stuff on there. Literally, like, I spend just as much time working on that stuff as I do making videos at this point, because I enjoy both equally. We're hosting game shows now, and we do live streams, and we have Rocket League tournaments and chess club, and I don't know, there's just all kinds of stuff to hang out and do, and it's been great. If you are watching this and you're one of the people that support us, you know I love you. Thank you. Yeah, that's about it. Take care, everybody.